Hello, welcome to the Passion Pursuit podcast show. We've got an episode of NFT Talk today, and if you didn't know already, I'm Tom Anderson Talks. You can follow me on Twitter at Tommy Tripwire, and I'm here to provide a space where we can talk, connect to NFT project artists, founders, developers, people who are working in the space, how they're going to shape the NFT space as we move forwards by exploring different avenues, not just looking at tokenomics all the time, but real life things that you can implement and how we can help serve one another. So today I've got Pequelord here with me today. If you want to introduce yourself and just let people know who you are.
Yeah, so as you just mentioned, I'm Pequelord. I'm the dad of Michis, and now with my new collection, Sloooths, I have been here for like a year right now, more than a year already. And yeah, just here to thanks for inviting me. I'm just really pleased to be here and be part of your podcast.
Yeah, it's a pleasure to have you, my man. I want this to be a really nice, chill vibe. I don't want there to be any pressure. It's just going to be a nice space to find out about your journey, a bit more about you as an artist and where you've come from. So yeah, I'm just curious, like, where did the journey of art sort of start for you, and like, when did you sort of first get into art in general?
Okay, so I have been drawing like all my life. I graduated like 17 years ago as illustrator, but I never have the chance to be illustrator, in self. I have been working as
Mm.
product designer all my life, creating apps and websites and things like that. But in February last year, I just discovered NFTs,
Right.
and then I discovered a few artists that I was following that they were just part of the system, all the ecosystem, and I decided to give it a try. So previously of that, I create some illustrations because I have my own company, and it's an online store, and
Cool.
those illustrations are part of the products, but
Right. Yeah.
it's like a different thing. So at the end here, I have the chance to be, like more free and create something that is more like a represents me. So at the end, in February, I just decide to create my first like little collection of NFTs, and from there, yeah, I never stopped like creating and drawing and trying new things here in the space.
That's cool. That's really cool. Like, it's nice that you've had so much experience, like, with art just in general in your life, and throughout the years, like, it seems like you've continued to keep that within your life. Like, would you say like art is a passion of yours and is the thing that you love to do?
Yeah. Definitely is what I love the most, and even I love it so much that I quit my job like 5 6 months ago, just to
Congratulations.
keep producing NFTs, and trying to be part of this amazing space. So I don't know, it's not just about the
Mm.
freedom, it's also about the option to interact with amazing artists, and also be part of the movement, the beginning of the movement, and try to help reshaping all these things, together. Yeah.
Yeah, there's it's definitely such a fast moving space that you have to kind of determine how much you know for whether you were in this month or that month, or whether this mint happened or that mint happened. So it is quite interesting to
Yeah.
especially speak with you, because you've been here for such a long time in the space, um, and you have that sort of knowledge of the way things have gone. Um, I'm curious that, like, your relationship with art, and like, has it changed like since you sort of quit your job to do art full time? How did that differentiate your relationship with your process or the actual art, like creation, like after it's done? Like, do you see it more as a job, or do you still get the same kind of therapeutic process out of creating?
Yeah, I don't know. In different moments, if you ask me in different moments or through this year, I have been in different places. I
Yeah,
have
oh,
been
of course, yeah.
in moments where I saw this as a job, for example.
Mm.
At the beginning, I saw it as something to have fun, because at the end was the beginning, at least for me, the the beginning of the NFTs in February last year. Everything was about the art, no utility at all. Was more about like have fun and create and release things all the time, and do drops like almost every week.
Yeah,
Experimenting with things, doing collaborations. Now that everything have changed a little, because the spacing is evolving, at least for me, the impression that I have is that one. I feel that everything is getting a bit more serious, like we need to have like a better foundation for the projects. So you still have fun, because it's about
yeah,
everything is about the
yeah,
fun, and about the fun, and the friends, and all the community. But now you need to have like a more uh prepared business plan, for your collection. So if you want to attract the right people, talking about your audience, or your community, you need to offer to them things that they like, and you need to have like a future vision for your community and your collection, and have like a proper plan. So now it's turning in a job, if you ask me.
yeah. Okay, yeah,
But it's a job that I really enjoy.
yeah.
So
It,
it's a
it
job
doesn't
that
feel
I
like a
really love.
burden to do. It's something that you're able to pour your
No, no,
passion
no.
into because it's something you love.
Yeah, and you also have the freedom to take a day if you need it, because
Yeah,
community is
yeah,
really
yeah.
flexible talking about that. And also, if you want to work from a different place, or you want to go on a trip and work from there, it will be pretty easy.
Mm.
You don't have anyone telling you need to stay here or whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
So that's something that I really love. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I really like that. It's good to know that you're not just a machine or some sort of DAO hidden behind a screen making all these decisions and artworks. That you are a real person, the artist and founder of these projects. And so just
Yeah,
like
we are
touching
real
on that,
people. That's a good thing.
yeah, yeah, you're real people. But like you touched on like your previous experience with being in the space and the community and sort of how you've watched it unfold. Did you want to talk a little bit about your first collection that you released,
Yeah, 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 yeah. Of
and just
course.
maybe some of the
So
things you learned along that journey? And
yeah, that's fine. So it was my first real collection, okay? Because I have the Michis, but previous of that I have different pieces that you can find in Rarible and other places that are part of my art. But if we talk about specific collections, Michis was my first one. Michis is also still alive, because I still need to I'm still working on the final drop to close the collection. I dropped the first tokens in August, I'm pretty sure,
right, yeah,
um,
of
or July
2021,
2021. Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah. So was a really beautiful experience, and it's also something that I really enjoy. But it's also something that teach me a lot about how everything needs to be done.
right, yeah,
Um, at the beginning, when I create that collection, I thought, or I have that idea about having fun,
mm,
and being like part of this first batch of collections, generative collections. But the issue was for me that Michis, they were created one by one. Okay,
right,
it's not like I was using the software. No, no, no. I was
yeah,
drawing with my iPad all the
hand
time. I
drawn,
have my iPad here, drawing all the time on this. So at the end, I spent a lot of time on that. I was like doing drops every Wednesday. So at the end, from Wednesday to Wednesday, I was creating 45 tokens every week. So it was
wow,
just like a mental, like uh, um, thing to do. So at the end, I remember myself at the beginning, also with all the FOMO and everything. I was really excited, but at some point,
Hmm.
I got really not burned out, but I was really under a lot of stress,
Yeah.
and I'm really vocal about that. I always share my
Yeah. Yeah.
experiences because I feel that it needs to be. We can hide those kind of things,
Hmm.
because if everything is about positivity and happiness, it's not real. It's something that is not like real life. So at the end,
It
I
all
remember
comes
at
with a
some
balance,
point,
right?
yeah. And at the end, the difference in between real life and this is really, like, I don't know, really thin. Is like the
Yeah.
line that divides real life with the NFT lives is really thin, because at the end it's about working, it's about expectations from people, it's also about money, because people is investing money
Yeah.
on your work. And so at the end, I remember that at that time, I was also moving to a different country. I was preparing all the move, I was
Hmm.
like drawing in planes, in my car, drawing, in a house without even a mattress. So at the end, I got really tired, and then I decided to stop everything and
Yeah.
take a time to try to rethink, about how everything was working.
Would you say that's
And
because you
then,
got to a place of burnout?
yeah, I think that burnout is a really, like, I don't know if that is the right way to describe it, but
Yeah.
I was tired. I was really tired.
Okay. Yeah.
I was really tired about everything, And also, I just found in a place where the community, because of the market, they just disappear. So at the end,
Right.
I was also alone, you know.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
was sharing this with my friends, and my friends, they were really supportive, and they were always there to be like, showing me their support and their love.
Mhm.
But my community, for example, they just disappeared because the market was like, Ethereum was flipping around,
Yeah.
and the market was like a winter for the NFTs. So at the end, I found in a place where I was like, okay, what's next? Because I don't want to create anything else, because I'm tired, and
Yeah.
I just feel alone. So what I can do right now? So at that moment, I just decide to evaluate everything, and say, okay, I'm here because I really want to have fun, and I really want to enjoy what I'm doing.
Hmm.
And I really know, because I was like sure that there was more people going through the same situation as me.
Hmm.
And I decide to create the second collection that I'm gonna release soon. Uh, but as I say, the Michis for me are something really special, because, as I say, it was my first collection, and gave me the chance to draw again and be
Yeah.
explore different techniques. Also, I create like a secondary collection with collaborations with
Yeah.
friends, and they that give me the chance to work with more than 20 different,
Wow. Yeah.
artists
Yeah.
from the NFTs. And I don't know, that it will be there forever. So it's gonna be my first collection, and thanks to the blockchain, it's gonna be forever there.
Yeah.
and 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 I hope, that in the future we will have the option to create more stuff about the Michis. I have more plans for the Michis,
Nice. That's
but
exciting. Yeah.
yeah, the roadmap is gonna continue. But
Hmm.
I am really thankful that I learned a lot from the Michis to be applied to the second collection that I'm doing right now, and that's why the second collection and the value of the second collection is, it will be so different
Hmm.
than the Michis one.
That's like, thank you for sharing like everything there. There's a lot to sort of take in and dive into with what you've said. Um, there's a couple of things I wanted to to pick out there.
Yeah.
Something I think was quite incredible is how you continued to keep drawing the pieces for the Michis collection, even though you had those in real life constraints and you were flying, moving country, and you said you were drawing on the plane, or you were drawing in the car, or in a room without a mattress. But perhaps in a year, 5, 10 years time, that's going to add to the story of you making your first stamp into the NFT space and the NFT world with that collection. I know you said you'd sort of done some parts beforehand, but with this being your first collection, it's like putting that stamp into the space. And I think, I don't know if it would be possible, but it would be cool to find out which Michis were drawn in which place, and sort of having that story behind it could be something really unique. So I
Yeah.
really like that. That there's sort of a real story behind that. There's real life behind those drawings, you know.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that if you check the dates, I can maybe add that to the collection history, and say
Yeah,
if you
yeah,
have a token that was drawn in between this day and this day, was the crazy moment. So it's more
yeah,
valuable.
yeah. Definitely, because like it's something to discuss, because it's like, how are we deciding the value of these tokens and things? And like, to me, the more sort of blood, sweat, and tears that's actually gone into it, like increases the value of these things. So I find that quite an incredible little story you got.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, yeah. I'm pretty sure that for yeah, if you talk about history in the collection, it will add some value in the future. I hope so, at least.
yeah. So yeah, you mentioned it there. Just like planning to go onwards. You're saying how everything you've learned from this Michi's collection, and having to keep up with the market and try and where the sort of market was on a decline, and you were still trying to come out with your collection. The supply and the demand wasn't necessarily there. Um, Tell everyone a little bit about your next project and what you're planning to do with all of these things that you've learned being in the NFT space so far, and what you want to do with your passion as an artist now moving forward into 2022, 2023, and the rest of the years to come.
Okay, yeah. So, what I have learned, for example, is that success is not something that you need to care if you really follow, your dreams, or you do whatever you want to do.
Yes.
I think that also success is not about just selling or getting
Or
a lot of
financial,
money.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's more about like I was feeling successful because I love what I was doing, and I see the
Mm,
niches and I love each of them, and I
yeah.
love to see, that I was able to do that even going through really rough
Mm,
moments. So for me that was like more than anything else,
yeah.
was valuable, really valuable, and I was like really grateful about like having the chance to create that.
Mhm.
But also that teaching me like a lot of stuff that I want to apply to the new collection. That the new collection, the name is Sloooths. Those they came from a book. Okay,
Mm.
I was in a really dark place. I'm pretty sure that I have the book here. Oh yeah,
Yeah,
look,
I'd love to see.
I had the book. Be more sloth.
Awesome.
I have a few ones that like get shit done,
Yeah, yeah.
but the sleuth one was the one that inspired me on this specific collection. It's a book that teach you to slow down. It's a book that explain you why sloths have, those like specific movements and routines, and why the energy in that specific animal works in that way, and why everything is because a reason, because they are teach me that for me, for example, I was rushing all the time,
Mhm.
that I was trying to please everyone, that I was just comparing myself to everyone in other collections on this space, even with collections that they had
Mm.
teams, and they have been selling thousands and thousands of
Yeah,
Ethereum,
yeah,
and that was like a really really bad thing to do. So at the end, uh, this collection for me is something that I want to use to teach people more of that philosophy. It's
yeah,
something about heal yourself, first at all. Try to be here because of the right reasons, not just because of the
mm.
FOMO or because of the money. Those are consequences, of your acts here.
Yeah,
So at the
yeah,
end, if you have good eye for the next blue chip, you're gonna get money. If
yes,
not, you're gonna get burnt out because you're gonna get into the FOMO, you're gonna lose a lot of money, and you're gonna hate the whole thing. So at the end, my idea is to use this to explain you that there is more than just follow influencers and follow collections that they make promises that are not real. So
yes.
it that's why the collection is really curated. It's really small number of tokens. I'm thinking about it because maybe I'm gonna produce a few more tokens to bring more people into
Hmm.
the collection. But it's gonna still be a really small collection if you
Yeah,
compare that to
yeah,
others. It's more about diversity, and inclusion, and also about the a real community, because something that I
yes.
see a lot is people talking about healing and mental health, and sharing experiences.
Hmm.
That's really nice, if when you share your
Yeah,
experience and
yeah,
you see that there's more people that they have in the same places as you. That's good.
yeah,
But we really need help. It's not just about sharing
yeah,
experiences. We need real people and professionals giving you advice, and teaching you how to heal yourself, and methodology, and giving you the tools to feel good again, and to
yes.
feel well again. So that's why Sloooths, they came, to my head, and and
Hmm.
and that's the idea right now, to build a community that is more real, that is more supportive, that is not just into the formal thing. I hope that the collection blows up, and everyone
Yeah, yeah.
gets like a little
Of
piece of the
course, yeah.
cake, and that would be amazing. But I'm also trying to build something more real, and that it will be a, a tool to change the space in so
Yeah.
many ways.
It has a bigger meaning than just being a sort of to the moon and a flip project, or
Yeah,
something that's for the short term, that like you really want to sort of use it to make a mark in the space, for, and like you say, not just to put positivity out there, because we need to be real sometimes. Like we all have good days and we all have bad days, and about finding that balance, and being able to share, have a place to share those good days with each other, and let each other know that we're succeeding, or share our successes, but also
yeah,
a space to go when we're not having a good day, when we're on the lower, we're feeling down and we're feeling bad, and knowing that you've not only, like you say, have you got a safe place to talk, but that you have access or a means to get further help, and could be recommended to professionals, or be recommended to things like the book itself, for example. Like I'm sure people would love to give that a read, just to find out a bit more about it, and it may give them insight into the project even, and how
yeah.
your mind is ticking when you're approaching this. So excuse me. um,
Don't worry,
I
it's fine.
I I really appreciate that, because since finding out about Sloooths, and getting involved with it myself, I've been trying to take on that similar kind of mindset, because I was in a place where I was trying to do loads of things at once, or in one day I'd fill it with different activities, and it would almost be like I was trying to bite off more than I could chew. But
Yeah.
at the same time, it was enabling me to do more than I've ever done. So I almost tricked myself into thinking this is the only way to get things done, is to just be like 100% all of the time. And
Yeah.
it, like you say, it's not necessarily burnout that it leads to, but you get tired real easy. And our bodies are muscles, right? We need to work them and we need to rest them. So it's
Yeah.
about,
And that's why I don't want to call it burnout, because I just feel that
yeah,
it's tired. It's tiredness. It's just
yeah,
like as when you get tired after a week of work, that,
yeah,
or after, I don't know, having people making noises on your neighbors, for example, making
yeah,
noises all the time, and you get tired. It's the same thing, because the problem is that we are investing a lot of time to please everyone here. We're
hmm,
investing also tweeting, and people, they don't even care. you know
yeah,
the really people that they care are the ones that they share your tweets, and they say good morning, and they are there. But
yeah,
sometimes we just follow other collections to try to think that we are part of the fam, and they don't really care. So at the end, I just feel that we need to invest the time that we have and the energy and in the right things here. So, for example, the right friends, the right collections,
hmm,
collections that are more aligned with your vision of the space. So, not just follow collections because they are popular or they're gonna give you money. That's right if you are here just for the money.
yeah,
But if you are here in long term, you really need to start thinking about your mental health, because if not, you're gonna just, I'm pretty sure that you're gonna close your computer after 2 weeks and just gonna disappear because of the FOMO
hmm,
and all the stress and all the things that they are like messing with you and your ideas. So that's why I feel that is a moment, after all the things that happened last year with massive collections, the rocks, and all the things that we have learned. I really want to think that we have been learning a lot, and
yeah,
that's why collections are gonna be, and families and communities, they're gonna get better in the future. I feel that now we need to create a more healthier space for the next generation of artists and collectors, and everyone that is
mm,
gonna join, the space. We need to preserve the tr- I don't know how to call it, but we
the
need to
honesty, the
yeah, and we need,
genuineness, like,
and also the reputation of
yeah,
NFTs
yeah,
needs
yeah,
to, we need to care about that. You can be
mm,
hungry, sorry, because you see people talking about this as a scam when you are part of the ones, you know just thinking about money, and you don't care about anything else.
yeah,
So
yeah, yeah,
if you really think that you want to be here in the future, and you want to be this, to make this thing, about NFTs, something that is gonna be here for long term, we
yeah,
need to care about that. And it's also not about just like that, is also about the fun, and everything. That's fine,
yeah, yeah,
it's not like it's the same for my collection. I don't want my collection to be just like something to help people. It's gonna be something to help people, and also
hmm,
giving us the chance to enjoy and have fun, and create a community that is gonna be um proud to have one of the tokens
yeah,
of this
yeah,
collection,
yeah,
and they're gonna be proud to be owners of this thing because of the utility and all the concept around the sleuths. Yeah.
yeah. I love that. Uh, so, like you said about that, what you want to create for the space, and build the community within it, moving forward, and like change the message that's going out there from buy in and sell, or be in it for the short term and make a quick buck, or because I agree, it's almost devaluing the artists that are getting involved in the space, trying to make an honest living, because their art is then being flipped and bought and sold like a commodity when they put their heart and soul into making that piece of art. Like, it's not something which
Yeah.
is just it becomes like a product which can be flipped, and it is a part of you when you've created that piece of art. So it's interesting to hear from your opinion, someone who's on the other side than the one sort of buying and selling the art, but hearing about your art being bought and sold and how that actually feels.
Yeah.
um
And also, for example, I can also be in the other side as an investor too.
yeah,
For
yeah, yeah.
example, I have a massive collection of NFTs. I have almost 2,000 NFTs in
Whoa.
between different cryptos and different pages, and you can see that like almost 90% of the tokens that I have, they have been there from day one that I joined the space. I
Yeah,
have tokens that I never also have thoughts about flipping them.
yeah.
Even that I get, because I have, tokens that they're really valuable and everything, but
Hmm.
even getting offers, really big offers,
Yeah.
I never thought about giving them, or selling them, because I
Mm.
love to be part of the community.
Yeah, yeah,
I,
yeah,
I don't want the money. I really need the money because everyone needs
yeah.
the money,
Yeah, yeah.
and that gives you the stability and the chance to breathe
Hmm.
and be calm and feel that you have like you know a plan B in
Yeah,
case
yeah,
that anything works. But it's not about that. It's more about like being proud of get those tokens, and preserve them on
yeah,
my collection, and see how the community grows and be part of the community. And I don't know, you can see, for example, a really good collection that is doing something similar is Doodles. For example, the
yeah.
Doodles community, I love that because they're so proud to be,
Hmm.
there, and they're trying to show that positivity, but also making it real,
Yeah,
and
yeah, yeah,
they're
yeah.
trying to clean the name of the NFTs to try to people trust again, on the space.
Show
And
that it is real. Like I saw something on
yeah, yeah,
Twitter of
yeah,
their real life event they had, and it's like it's showing that it is real. Like this isn't something that's just in this make believe web page or
yeah. They
like
just have a massive event in
yeah,
Austin,
yeah,
Texas, with Shopify, and you see that what they did there, and it's just like, wow, is
yeah,
that is what I want to see. It's not just about having parties in a chat in I don't know where. It's more about like showing that they are building something real, and it's gonna be there for a really, really long time.
yeah. It's almost like another layer on top of the current social networks that we have, and
Yeah.
the way that we
Yeah, yeah,
engage
yeah,
with each other. We're now just like almost making those social networks have clubs within them by like owning the different NFTs. I think it's quite
yeah,
interesting.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
But just going back to Sloooths, like something I'm curious about is kind of taking your head out of the roadmap mind and thinking about the future. I mean, obviously, none of us know where the NFT space is going to go or how fast it's going to move. Like, as we know, the crypto space and NFT space is very volatile. But sort of as we're riding these waves going forward, with like the best vision in mind, where do you see the sleuths going, and what do you plan to sort of like? What would you envision as the ideal situation for the sleuths in say 5 to 10 years time?
Yeah, I don't know. I always say that everything moves so fast in this space that having the chance to think about, you know, X years in the future is so complicated. But if you ask me, I want to see Sleuth as a tool to help people more than just in the NFT community. I see myself like, I don't know, creating events around the world, to try
Mm.
to bring the philosophy behind the sleuths to more people that maybe they don't have the chance to also be part of the community because they don't have access to the money to buy a token, or
Yeah,
maybe to the tokens because they are just sell out or whatever. So I
yeah,
just
yeah,
feel that we need to be more flexible in that way, and also I feel that it's not just about the problems into the NFT space. I feel that there's a lot of people around the world, like they need to be help, and they need to have the feeling, and they need to know that there's more people like going through processes or
yeah,
moments that they are similar to yours. So at the end, I want to see myself, maybe doing something bigger than just a collection. Maybe, I don't know, it can be like a podcast, as you are
yeah,
doing right now, or maybe a book, that can explain you more about the philosophy that is here in this book, but also using, a more digital environment as ours right now.
yeah,
So maybe something that people that they want to be part of this digital work can use to avoid FOMO is there in different places,
yeah,
even
yeah.
if you want to buy a ticket for a concert, there's FOMO
It's
too,
the same. It's the
because
same
you
thing.
yeah. So I feel that if we can use sleuths to help people around the world, dealing and getting stronger,
Mm.
and seeing themselves as part of a big community, I will be more than happy to just abandon everything and just go around the world,
Yeah,
and helping all these people with the sleuth energy and vibes.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. That's amazing. Like I'm really grateful for you coming on and explaining everything in a really nice sort of laid out way that you've sort of taken us through your story from where you started and got involved with art and how that then moved into the NFT space with you getting involved yourself to then your first pieces release and your first collection to now what is you're working on now and what's to come out. And then it's nice to hear a little bit about just what you envision for the future, even if these things don't happen. And that I want everyone listening to know that none of those things you just said are promises or things that should be expected, because we're
Yeah.
just talking about what we're speculating about, the possibilities of what can happen by being involved in this space, and it almost being like a Kickstarter for the project to launch it into those other things. Because when you
Yeah.
have those community members, if they really want you to produce a book, then that might be the way to go. But by keeping it open, but having the intention set that you know what you want to do, it allows you to like cater to your community in the best way. So I really
Yeah.
appreciate that you've sort of set the direction and you're now trying to help everyone else along that path, as opposed to try and be the flagpole and help everyone decide which direction they need to go in. Because I think there's too many people trying to do that, being the
Yeah.
pointer and say, you can go here, you can do this, you can do that. And so, some of the projects that I've been in, like the day after they've minted, um, they start promoting other projects. And like, I mean, that's great. I love the fact that there's partnerships and there's collaborations and all these things, but that shouldn't be all that there is to just then immediately move the attention away from you and tell your audience to go somewhere else. It's like you should be trying to take them on the journey with you, to what you're
Yeah.
trying to build, as opposed to like hand them off to the next person or the next project. So
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I really like the idea that you said you want to build that and go around the world and potentially like meet these people and host an event and open that up to people who may have never heard of cryptocurrency or know how to interact with it, but the message that you're delivering still applies and is still going to be beneficial to those people. Um, so I really appreciate what it is you're trying to achieve, like from a personal standpoint, but also like
Yeah.
from what I've seen evolve in the space from my time being in it, that there isn't too many projects trying to achieve anything more than selling out, minting out, and then moving on to the next thing. Whereas offering that, just having the thought about offering the long-term value, I think is more than enough to show that you're in this for the long run. Like you're not, this isn't just like a quick thing and you're trying to run away with
Yeah.
people's money. It's like you're really trying to figure out how do you deliver the best for the people behind it, as opposed to the numbers
Yeah.
that enter the screen. Like,
And I think
so
that is
yeah,
is just
go ahead.
just to add something to your idea. I think that is something that needs to work in both ways, and it's something that I always try to mention, because I just feel that people, they just expect that everything will work and they will get something and everything will be perfect. And the problem is that, as in real life, if you invest in something, you are part of that something,
Yeah.
from that moment. So you need to also work to make it work. So
Hmm.
you need to invest your time, you need to invest your energy. If you are part of a community, I don't say, and I want to be transparent about that,
Hmm.
that I'm part of all the communities that I'm supporting through buying the NFTs.
Hmm.
But if I really feel that those communities, they are aligned with my vision, I will be there, and I always be offering my help, or
Yeah.
my skills, or at least like use my social media channels to try to give them visibility, because that is the last thing that I can do to make it
Yeah.
work. So if people, they really want me to be successful, or want us to be successful as a
Hmm.
community, and they want to see those events in the future, and they want me to read to write that book, for example,
Yeah.
I really want them to help me. I really
Yeah.
want them
Yeah. Yeah.
to be next to me and ask me, "Hey, Pequelor, what do you need to make this real? I
Yeah.
know an investor that maybe can help us, or I know someone that will help you to make this book real, or
Hmm.
hey, I can create whatever, and help you with that." So that is something that we really need in this place, and not just people that they just follow those
Hmm.
collections that they make these promises, they are not real,
Yeah.
and they
Yeah.
just burn money as crazy with those. So I have been in a place where I have been, following the wrong collections and
Hmm.
burning money too. But I learned from that,
Hmm.
and I don't learn that you need to just say this is a scam and blah blah blah. No, no, no. I learned
Yeah.
that you need to choose wisely, and choose the right things, and that is it was my fault,
Yeah.
that I invested in the wrong thing because I was following the FOMO.
Yeah. Yeah.
But now I have the chance, because I learned to do it right.
Exactly. And I think using what you've learned to then help other people coming into the space, or other
Yeah,
people who are in the space who have experienced that same FOMO and into projects and losing out, or being involved in a rug situation. It's like they're to me, it reminds me of when the iPhone came out and the all these apps started popping up and everyone was releasing the next best app, and everyone was promising the world with this game it was going to be the next million, and every single week, even to this date, there's been more and more and more apps released. And I think the same thing is going to happen in NFTs, where more and more and more are always going to be released. I don't think we're ever going to be able to put the cap back on the bottle. um,
yeah.
but what
But
will
but we can
happen,
learn,
yeah, but
and
what will happen
you
is,
can see the patterns,
yeah,
and
we'll
it's
get
something that we need to learn.
we'll find which ones are the Candy Crush, or we'll find which ones are Minecraft or Roblox. We're going to figure out what the solid projects are, because they're going to emerge themselves
Yeah,
by sticking to what it is they set out to do, like by having that one path and following it. as opposed to
Yeah.
trying to please everyone and getting
Yeah.
nowhere.
Yeah.
Another thing I really like what you say, it made me think of the saying, it's not so much what you know, but who you know. And I think that a big problem in this space is we're all trying to learn as much as we can to either seem like the most educated one or to provide others with the best education we can, as opposed to just saying, hey, do you know someone that could help me with this? Or
Yeah.
we're trying to become that person and be like, I know how to do this, as opposed to just ask
Yeah.
someone who might know. Like it's a very strange thing because it seems like so much potential is just waiting behind all these closed doors.
And it's something that for me, for example, in my even in my own experience, is something that I don't know if it's just because I have the same um I don't know. I in real life, for example, if I need something and I have the option to learn that or hire someone that is an expert and help me, I
Yeah,
always hire someone, because
yeah,
because for me, if it's something that I'm gonna use just a few times, it is not like something that I will be investing the time to learn just to use it a couple of times,
yeah, yeah,
and it's not gonna add any value talking about my skills and my I don't know, future. So at the end, for example, here in NFTs, I just feel that we need to be more flexible about how we see the whole scene, and how how it's not just about selling as
mm-hmm,
crazy and creating pieces every week or every day
mm-hmm,
and minting them to sell them. It's more about like, if I don't sell, what can I offer to the space that maybe it will keep me here and I will get like a benefit,
yeah,
but it's gonna make me feel more happy and less, stressed because
mm-hmm,
I'm not selling. So, for example, if you do animation, you know, or if you do video editing, or you do whatever that other people they will need, even websites or I don't know, whatever,
yeah, yeah,
you can maybe offer that, as an skill, and maybe be more like known because you are an expert video editing, and you're
yeah,
going to
yeah,
be the one that everyone want to use, on the NFTs space. So you need to build that reputation. I prefer to build a reputation s- because of my skills, that
mm-hmm,
just because I'm not selling and I'm just in a corner sad, and stressed all the time because I'm trying and trying and trying and trying.
yeah,
So if you ask me, for example, if I was really lucky that I have, the vision or whatever you want to call it,
mm-hmm,
to create something that was selling at some point in the NFTs history. But if I keep creating and I see that no one cares about my art, I will offer myself as, I don't know, brand designer,
yeah,
So if you
yeah.
want to release a project, I will be more than happy to create your brand. And
Because
then I will.
even in that, you've got the experience, like,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah,
So at the end, I really want people to feel that it's not just about being a successful artist. You can be a successful whatever, i- if just the people need you, you know?
yeah, yeah.
That's it.
It's the
That's it.
simple supply and demand. Like
Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
teams are always going to need help, and it's about finding those teams to
Yeah.
applying yourself to it. Like, how can I fit in here? And what can I offer to those people? Um,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
it's kind of like
And
me.
that's great.
It's my own position is where I currently am, and where I'm working with yourself, and here on this call, it's like I'm trying to offer something to you that can help, and like, yeah, I feel like the project you are running is offering help to me, so it's like to me it's a fair exchange.
It's a
That
two-way thing.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
exactly. It's not like someone's trying to benefit and the other person loses out. It's definitely a two-way. So I really appreciate you coming on the show and saying everything that you've had to say.
Thank you.
It's been an absolute pleasure talking with you. I could keep on going, so I just wanted to round it off before we go crazy.
Same.
But just one thing to end off. What is sort of one, we've kind of touched on it already, but what's one piece of advice or like message you want to sort of give to either NFT collectors out there or NFT project creators and artists like yourself who might be like in the middle of this bear market, be experiencing those feelings like you did when you had to take that break? So just like, what kind of advice would you want to give to those people?
I will say, and was also that I did in that time, I asked myself, like, why are you here? What was the first thing that moves you, and all your energy and all your passion and everything that you have investing here, and makes you keep here? So at the end, I feel that people, they need as I say, evaluate everything, and say, okay, I'm here because of this. Okay, I gonna follow that.
Yeah.
I'm here because I love the art. Okay, be real with yourself and follow the artists that you love, the communities that you love, and keep pushing hard as much as you can, because if you get any benefit, it will be a consequence of that,
Yeah.
of taking the right decisions. If you are here because you want to be a flipper, and we need flippers, flippers are not bad a bad thing too.
Yeah.
The
No, I
problem
know, of
is that
course. Yeah.
if you want to keep being a flipper, that's fine, but then don't try to just be a flipper and get a benefit, and run. Try to think about the consequences for the collections where you're flipping on. At least if you get something and you get money or you get visibility or whatever when you flip the pieces, try to be grateful, and try to spend, not just flip and run, just try to be and say, I just get this massive, opportunity because of this collection. Thank you. And make it clear, because at the end, even with that, you're going to help the collection to grow up,
Yeah.
or at least you're going to help the artist to feel better because it's changing people's lives. So as I say, just follow your guts, evaluate everything, and try to just follow the right things. Don't
Yeah.
just follow the FOMO. Yeah.
I really love that. I think you summed that. You almost summed up our entire conversation into a perfect little ending to tie off the knot and tie off the bow. So I really appreciate you coming on. Thanks again for coming on the
No,
show.
thank you, Tom. Thanks for giving me the chance to be here and show myself, and I don't know, talk about my next project that I hope that people will love.
Amazing. And people can go and follow at Sloooths with 3 O's.
Yeah,
on Twitter.
It's Sleuth with, yeah. Also, you can go to Pequelord Twitter, and then you can just follow the other account from there. And also, you can just go to the Sleuth account in Twitter, and if you want to know more about the project, there is a link to the Medium article where you can read more about why everything is happening with the Sloooths, the future of the Sloooths, and I will be keep adding information there to just make clear everything about the project.
Awesome. Thank you once again, and that's it for the episode. Peace out, everybody.
Amazing.
Bye-bye.